but we didn't have a lot of depth. It's nice when your top tier guys, and a lot of them are young, can help educate the younger guys in terms of functionality, concept, understanding those things, and you know, I think it's you know, been a positive for the young guys to see that modeling, and we don't have as, you know, you always have the gross areas in practice and preseason with the new guys, and you're pulling your hair out, but we're having a lot less of those kinds of episodes, so that's a good thing.
How's that weak side linebacker position panning out without Mike there?
Mike's there.
McCray.
Yeah, he's there. He's helping. Joking.
But how are the players that are on the team?
The guys that are in the battle there are Devin Gill, Josh Ross, and Drew Singleton. Those three guys are in that fist fight, and Coach likes to use the term cage match. I guess that's what it is. You know, if you ask me today who's the leader in the clubhouse, I would say there is none. So if you ask me, I think Josh and Devin Gill probably slightly ahead of Drew. So if that would be the case, then we just let them both play and see who steps up and separates, or if they just keep both playing well, then just leave it alone. The good thing too is we've been working Josh Ross in Devin Bush's place, so he's kind of cross-training, so that gives us kind of a 3-for-2 deal. But then if you ask me who had the best practice out of those guys yesterday, I would say Jordan Anthony came out of the closet and really had his best practice at Mike. So that's a good thing. Yeah, that's kind of where I see it right now.
Don, there's always been a lot of depth on the defensive line, and I feel like we'll probably count 7, 8, 9 guys again this year. I mean, you guys talked a lot about Quiddy last year. Michael Dwumfor was coming along a lot. Any updates?
Both playing extremely well. Both guys are going to be counted on to play minutes, big minutes. You know, Mike Dwumfor had a really exciting spring. You know, from a coaching standpoint, you walk away and go, damn, man, that guy's really kind of stepped into it. You know, Quiddy can play either defensive end position, which, you know, obviously position flexibility is a big deal because it gives you a chance to play at both positions. You know, still have Rashawn there, still have Chase Winovich there. I mean, obviously playing at a very, very solid level. Got Luigi Villain. This Aiden Hutchinson's going to be a good player. Can we get him ready? I don't know. My lean is, you know, with Coach Madison's tutelage, he'll be ready to go. So, you know, that's a good thing. Aubrey Solomon, you know, all those guys. Low Marshall's back. You know, remember he had the injury in the spring, so he's back playing. Carlo Kemp, we've moved full-time inside. So as you said, we have a number of guys that we can play up front, which is a beautiful thing, to rotate and let guys go in there and empty the tank, come on out, get a sip, and go back. And I don't want to, you know, leave out Brian Monet because he's been a stalwart in the middle. You know, he'll be a first and second down guy for us, and expect good things out of him. I mean, he's like an immovable object. You know, you just put him there and good luck. It's like a fence post that's been cemented in the ground because he's not moving.
Where's Donovan Jeter? Is he at nose now?
Coming.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, he's inside. He's playing at nose. Coming. Deron Irving Bay's at that level too. Both of those guys are still, you know, trying to figure some things out. But you know, you can see the arrow starting to go from flat line to to turning slightly up, and you know, obviously looking for improvement from those guys.
Tyree Kinnell had said a couple at Big Ten Media Days that one of the big focuses for the safeties was to improve in coverage. How much have they been able to do that from last season?
Significantly, you know, and you know, we'll do things, and we are doing things to help them, and you know, so I feel really good about where they're at. I think Metellus is playing at a high level. I think Tyree is playing at a high level. The guy that's probably made the biggest jump is Jalen Kelly Powell. You know, and the guy that's really might be the surprise for me anyway of the camp is Brad Hawkins. You know, he's really figuring it out, and you know, we fooled around with him at Viper, which is a good thing, because you get your nose dirty. You got to play against the run and the pass, and you get into the blitz stuff. But now he's moved back to the safety thing, and the biggest piece for him that was the most difficult was, you know the old saying, you got to get right. Well, you know, he couldn't get right. Well, now he's getting right, and we're seeing that athleticism, and you can tell when a guy's playing fast and doing things, it usually means that there's a strong correlation between mentally playing fast in his mind, so physically he has a chance to execute at a high level, and he is. If you ask me, he's probably made the biggest jump of any of our defenders.
Where do Josh Uche and Casey Hughes fit in?
Casey's working at safety right now, but he's also working at nickel, okay? So, you know, he's 5 practices in. You know, he's still, he's still wading in the water, you know, new nomenclature, new vocab, all those good things. Well, you say, well, you know, he's played for 4 years. Well, you know, he's not played in this system. So, you know, just getting comfortable. We thought yesterday was his best practice to date. So, you know, we feel pretty good about that. Who did you say?
Josh Uche.
Unbelievable. You know, we're able to play him at a number of different roles and move him around. You know, the place he makes the most explosive impact is when he pass rushes. But now he's an adequate cover guy over the tight ends. He's figured out the zone pieces as well. So, you know, he's more of a complete player. But we can also integrate him in several areas on our football team to take the best advantage of his ability to rush the passer.
Harbaugh said in Chicago that, excuse me, Josh was on the precipice, a quote, on the precipice of becoming an animal. Can you detail that? I mean, what exactly did he mean by that? And
well,
when you see a guy turning into an animal, what does that mean to you?
He's a competing animal. You know, after, you know, the bowl game, you know, we had a discussion because he wanted to play more, and he wanted to fight me, I think. I'm joking. But, you know, he wants to play. You know, it's easy to say, hey, coach, I want to play. Let me play. Well, go earn it. How about that? How about go earn it? Well, he's earned it. And I think that's probably what's fair to say. So, with that being said, we're integrating him in different areas of our defense, which we're able to do because of the way we systematically approach things, to take advantage of his unique abilities, which is he's now 241 pounds. I want you to think about that for a minute. And he still runs 4.5. I gave Ben Herbert a kiss on the lips for that one. Because he's in a position now where, you know, it's not a skinny guy running around, getting bounced around and trying to figure out my feet and posture and all the things that you're looking for in a complete football player. You know, but he certainly is, you know, from spring, you know, from this spring on, and he's really just kind of picked up where he left off in spring, and he's become a student of the game. He watches a ton of tape. You know, he's in talking to me all the time, but he's playing at a high level and utilizing that 4.5 speed. But when, you know, it's one thing, guys, you know, hey, let's time him. Oh, he runs 4.5. And then the play starts and he's 5 flat. He's playing slow. And then some guys, you know, whatever they got, you get. You know, you'd rather play those guys because those guys are playing faster generally, and get it mentally. He gets it, and again, as I've mentioned, we're able to do several things with him in different areas of our defense, up front, whatever, to you know, to accentuate his strengths and help our defense.
How's
Got time
Viper
for a couple more.
shaping up? Kalik leading the way, I would imagine.
Yeah, he's the real guy now. I mean, he's got it all figured out, mentally, physically. 220 pounds. You can tell how far he's come. You know, he's just a special player. He can blitz, he can cover, he's smart. He can relate to the DBs and fit in with those guys in terms of his coverage capabilities. He can also play linebacker when called upon and be a very solid run defender. And, you know, he's a tremendous blitzer. And we're doing several things differently in some of our structures, and it gives him a chance to, you know, continue to be a very significant playmaker. The second guy is Jordan Glasgow. You know, I think he kind of got lost in the soup. But he is a poor man's Kalik Hudson. Solid you know, when he was playing safety, I was constantly in his shirt about one thing, covering the slots. Well, then why ask him to cover the slots? Get out. So now we've moved him to Viper, so there's really nothing left to say. He's a good blitzer. He's strong enough to play in the run game. He's a smart guy. Sometimes, you know, I got to punch him in the nose and say, stop talking. And he's a good run defender. So, you know, he has all the traits that we're looking for. And we're also using this Michael Barrett. Coach was, you know, we recruited him as an athlete, and we've worked with him, you know, for a period of time and thought that was the best for his skill set. And, you know, obviously he's fighting through summer school and some of the things that you do around here when you're a freshman. But I see potential there. You know, I mean, he's completely, you know, got a long way to go. I mean, he's not turning potential into performance. He's trying to learn and obviously fighting for his life like the rest of those guys are that are tied into the, you know, that summer school program, which is great. You know, I mean, obviously it prepares them to be college students. But, you know, from a football standpoint, it makes for a long day for those guys. So, you know, we're trying to give them as much football as we can, you know, throughout their day. But, you know, it's never enough, as you know. So that's the Viper.
Sorry.
No,
Last
you're good.
question, please.
What kind of challenges is Shea giving you, Patterson, in this defense?
Oh, he's just, you know, he's a veteran guy. You know, he's a confident guy. You know, he has the ability to do things with his legs, and you know, he's got a quick release, and you know, I just like the guy. I just like him. He's a good guy. He's a confident guy, as I said, and a very good athlete. So, you know, when you couple the ability to throw the ability to maneuver and move around as an athlete, and a guy that has experience now. You know, that piece gets overlooked, you know. Oh, you know, this guy's a good player, let him play. Well, why isn't he playing good? Why don't you give him a chance to breathe and let him play good? How about that? And, you know, sometimes I think, we forget about that. But this guy has played. He's played a lot. And he's been in the soup, you know, at a high level. So, you know, I think that gives him general respect. But the way he goes about doing it, you know, he certainly earned my respect. You know, he came in and talked coverage today with the boss. So, you know, I mean, he's just a great kid. And, you know, I'm excited to see him play against other people.
All right.
Good?